Hello everybody, this is Roger with Roger's Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about small tree service and what the advantages are of using a dump trailer or equipment trailer versus a loader truck. So everybody wants to buy a loader truck. I've had 3 of them. I've sold them all. If that tells you anything. Loader truck, I bought my first one about 10 or 15 years ago. It was like a 20 yarder, and then I sold that one. I got a 50 yarder and a 38 40 yarder. But the problem is the smaller one I like better than the bigger ones, because the bigger ones you need a CDL for them, and there's just a lot more maintenance and they cost a lot more, because usually the bigger ones I couldn't afford, so I'd buy ones that needed repairs and fix them up. So basically you can spend anywhere from around $50,000 up to almost $300,000 on a loader truck, depending on what brand you get, what bells and whistles you want. There's a company in town, they buy the biggest and the baddest, and it's got chrome on it, and I found out they almost spend over almost $300,000 on their trucks, because they just want the biggest, baddest, cleanest, most beautiful truck in the world. So by the time they get it all lettered up and plated on the outside and all chromed up, it's probably over $300,000. If you go the cheap route like me and you buy a used one, needs some work, you might be able to pick one up for around 50, probably more. If it's 50, it's going to need a lot of repair. If you spend a little more, you're probably going to be able to get one that's ready to roll. So just figure 50 to 300,000 depending on what you want to do. If you're not going to drive it yourself and you're going to hire somebody with a CDL, it's going to be at least 150 a day to 200 a day. So that's up to 4,000 a month just for a driver. If you're making payments on it, if you spend 50 grand and your credit's pretty decent, it's going to be at least 1,000 a month. If you buy a bigger, heavy duty one, all the bells and whistles, it's going to be close to 4,000 a month. So depending on what you want to do, insurance is going to be anywhere from $200-300 a month plus. Higher end for the nicer trucks. Plates are going to be at least $500 or more per year, depending on what you put on the title. So on all your maintenance and everything is going to be more. And also too, a lot of people don't realize when you buy a loader truck, you're still going to have to pay dump fees. So your dump fees for a small loader truck are 100, and for a huge like 50-60 yarder, going to be closer to 200. So are you really saving any money? So say for example, like what I do, I just call a loader truck when I need one, because if you call a loader truck out, it's anywhere from $300 to $500 a load, depending on how big the load is. Just say for example, you spend in the middle, say you spend $400. That's kind of what the going rate is, $400. The driver, like if you pay a driver for the day, or just say the dump fee, let's knock the dump fee out. Just say they got to pay $100 dump fee. So there's $300. And then they're going to spend at least about 40 or 50 bucks on fuel. So 50 bucks on fuel. So that's 200 or 250 bucks left. And then you got basically you got to pay your driver, the insurance, and it's going to take 2 or 3 or 4 hours to go pick up the load and then go dump the load and come back. So basically, just say you got to pay your driver at least $100 for that distance. So you're down to 150 bucks. So you got 150 bucks left, basically the profit, and then you got to take away your insurance, and then wear and tear on the truck, and anything else, odds and ends, plates and all that stuff that happens. So basically, I'm thinking they make about 50 bucks. About 50 bucks on that load. I don't know about you, but if I'm going to spend all this money, I want to make more than 50 bucks. So that's why I chose to get rid of my loader truck. In the beginning, I had a driver, and we didn't need a CDL, and we used it to pull the equipment, and we used it for a lot of other things, and I didn't pay much for the loader truck, so that was a really good investment at that time. But as the years went on, trucks got more expensive, drivers got more expensive, insurance got more expensive. I chose, and then also too, my business, we don't do as much work, so it's not worth paying, because with a loader truck you have to pay insurance, you got to pay maintenance, you got to pay plates, all that stuff. Even if you don't work, you got to still keep making those payments, and the payments never stop. Insurance never stops. Then the next thing you can do is buy a dump trailer, and you can spend anywhere from $1,000 to $40,000, depending on if you just get a basic dump, a used dump. I've got them for as cheap as $1,000. A good used one, a bigger dump, can be $3 or $4, about $4,000. Or you can go to the extreme and get a 40 or 50 yard dump trailer with a grapple. You're talking at least $38,000 to $40,000. What's good about the dump trailers is there's no insurance, except for if you have a loan, you have to have a loan on the insurance in case someone steals it. But normally, if you hook it up to your truck and you get in an accident or something happens, your truck insurance covers it. The plates are cheaper. You don't need a CDL, so you don't need a CDL. Usually, most dump trailers you can hook onto a 3/4 ton or 1 ton truck and pull it, and you're usually under the CDL weight, and you don't have the CDL because you don't have the arm or anything, the extra weight. So this is what we're doing now. We have a couple dump trailers, and we load them up. Now there's a third situation which we tend to use a lot. We use our equipment trailer to load debris. And so what we do is we have a small skid steer and a small stump grinder. And if we don't need the stump grinder, we leave it at the shop, but we always bring our mini skid. And our mini skid doesn't take up much room on the trailer, so there's a lot of extra room on the trailer that we can put debris on and unload it and load it. And like on our smaller jobs, like say you have a job like under $1,000, we try to get those jobs where we can fit the debris on the trailer and take the material back to the shop, and always have a place at your shop you can dump debris off, because it's going to save you a lot of money. So basically it's going to save you time too, because every little job you don't want to have to run to the dump, or you don't have to call a loader truck, because if you have a $3,000 or $1,000 job and you pay $400 for a loader truck, that's all your profit right there. It's taking away half of your job. So what we do is most of our jobs that are like around 1,000, we try to put on the equipment trailer, and we try to haul it back to the shop. And that's why we try to keep our jobs within a close proximity of our shop, so that way we can, in one day, we can take it down, put it on the equipment trailer, and take it back to the shop. So, and that's another reason it's a very good idea to know exactly what we need on the job, because we can take off everything we don't need, and it gives us more room to load the equipment trailer up. And so what you want to do is get a pretty good size equipment trailer, heavy duty, to where you can, it's basically a dump trailer underneath. It has the big heavy duty 10-ply tires, and our trailer is at least 16 foot long. And what you want to do is build up the sides a little bit so your mini loader can reach over and drop in the material. And another thing we like to do, we put the ramps down and we drive up into the trailer and go to the front of the trailer, and we drop material there, and we cut the ends off. And we just keep doing that. And what you can do is you can build up the sides on the front of your trailer, and then that way you can reach in and compress it and push it up to the front and just keep compressing it. And then when you fill it up, you can even put stuff on the sides. And we're in the process, and now we're building like little doors so we can fold up, because a lot of times you put your heavyweight on the bottom and you put your light stuff on top. Well, sometimes the stuff falls out and it's hard to strap down. If you build little doors that come up and lock in, you can put that light stuff on top and strap it down so it doesn't fall out. And then that way your mini loader can reach up there and still pack it in. And when you put your sides up, come up through the back and load it in. So I recommend for a small tree service, get the biggest equipment trailer you can, and then that way you have plenty of room and you can put sides on it. And then that way you take that material back to the shop, and you can get 4 or 5, maybe 6 jobs, maybe the whole week's worth of work, dump at your shop. And then you can either load it up on a dump trailer, or you can have a loader truck come and get it. That way, say you have 4 or 5 jobs, just say 4 jobs. Instead of paying $400 for one job, you can basically have the loader truck pick up all 4 jobs. So that's $100 per job. So basically that takes down your expense for each job. So anyway, if I recommend anything else for a small tree service, or actually any tree service, if you don't have a loader truck, and you're thinking about getting one, think of this first. Think of all the money you're going to spend on the loader truck, even, especially now we're going into the slow season. I know it's probably a good deal if you can find a loader truck, but the thing is, you're going to be paying insurance, you're going to be paying payments, you're going to be paying all those expenses all through the slow time. And then in the next year, when it picks up, you know, you're going to have even more fuel expenses, you're going to have driver expense. So you're basically, when you buy a loader truck, you're buying a big bill. Unless you drive it yourself, you're going to have a lot of expenses. It's going to keep you drained. If you get a dump trailer, also too, you're going to have a separate vehicle to pull it, because a lot of times you can't get your equipment. Like I can't get my equipment up into a dump trailer because I have small skid steers. I've got small track stump grinders. It's very hard for me and dangerous to get way up there and get in. So the best deal for us, we try to get the lowest dovetail equipment trailer, and we have big long ramps, so it's very easy for us to even grab material, pick it up, and put it inside the equipment trailer. So probably later on, I'm working on an idea to either have a trailer that goes all the way to the ground that I can load, or a very low dump trailer, because the ideal situation would be have a trailer that you can load up with your equipment, and it can also be used as a debris hauler. So the idea I've been coming up with, there's trailers that actually lower down to the ground and you can drive right straight in them. Or there's dump trailers that sit low that you can have ramps on. So basically, I'm still working on the idea, but for right now, these are the best suggestions I have, is basically have a big long equipment trailer that you can use for smaller debris jobs. And then there's a dump trailer idea where you can have a big dump trailer and just basically only pull it to the job for your bigger jobs that you can't load the bigger stuff on from equipment trailer. Now, of course, you're going to have these huge jobs where you're going to have 30 or 40 or 50 yards of material. Then you call a loader truck, have it come directly to the job and pick up everything. If you can't fit it on the mini skid equipment trailer and it's just too much for your dump trailer, it doesn't make any sense to haul all that debris to your shop when you can just have the loader truck come directly to the job site. So anyway, there's 3 suggestions I have. If you got a huge job, call a loader truck, but don't buy one. If you have a pretty decent business where you can afford, and you already have a truck coming, you already have another person that drives a F3 3/4 ton or 1 ton, you can have a big dump trailer. If you have a smaller job and you have, like us, we only have like 2 or 3 guys, we just pull, you know, the bucket truck and equipment trailer. We can basically pull all that equipment and still load stuff on here. So there's basically 3 scenarios. You either load it up on a small trailer, or you load it up on a bigger trailer, or you have a huge job that basically you're not saving any time or money by taking it to the shop. You just have it loaded right from the job site. But later on, what's going to happen, it's going to put everybody out of business. There's going to be these huge or very powerful trucks coming out. They're going to be electric. Tesla's coming out with the first one. It's going to be a Tesla Cybertruck. Basically, you're going to have a truck that uses hardly any fuel and needs hardly any maintenance. And what's going to happen is these people are going to be pulling these huge trailers with these electric trucks, and they're going to be able to load them with loaders, or even they might even buy grapple trailers, or they're just going to be loading them with machines. And they're going to be able to go to the dump, and pretty soon they'll hit a button and the truck and trailer will drive itself to the dump. It'll unload itself, the people unload it, and it'll drive right back to the job site, and it'll drive right back to the to your shop. And in the future, you're going to see one in about 2 or 3 years. I'm going to buy the first one. So basically, I'll have a machine that doesn't use any fuel, doesn't need any brakes, doesn't have any maintenance, and it won't need a driver. So you'll see it next year. That's kind of what I'm holding out for, is because I don't want any more bills. I don't want any more employees. I don't want anybody else. And like I said, stay small and keep it all. You're better off having equipment, small equipment that you don't need to pay insurance on. And so basically you need a small loader, like a compact loader that's going to fit on this trailer, and you can fit debris on there. Because if you have a Bobcat or something bigger, it takes up the whole trailer. You can't hardly put any debris on there. and you're hauling around 10,000 pounds with you all the time. With a compact loader, it's like 3,000 or 4,000 pounds. You can still load. It takes up less room. You can basically, pile it on top of the debris and still haul it with you. You can go to the dump and pull off all that debris. So the best combination in the future is going to be a big equipment trailer with a compact loader and electric truck pulling it. So this is Roger with Roger's Reviews. Check out Tesla stock. Battery days on the 22nd. It's going to change the whole game. It's going to be a game changer. If you like this review, please subscribe. We only need about 20 more people to hit our goal. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.